It was very difficult to see the inside. I mean, not the inside, I beg your pardon, but the front of the Bataclan from where we're standing. As you can well imagine, we were positioned some several hundred meters away from the concert hall itself. Really, we were pretty much guessing what was going on from the sounds and from what we could hear. And what we heard 25 to 30 minutes ago were several detonations, what sounded to all of us here like some gunfire, as well as some explosions. Now, it sounded to me, even though I'm not a ballistics expert, that there may have been some stun grenades involved or some kind of detonation, which wasn't gunfire, which suggested to me and others present on the scene that perhaps an assault was underway, and it now seems that that was indeed the case. Somebody who had a slightly different angle than I did saw a ladder on the front of the Bataclan. That's another reporter. And he saw people climbing down the ladder. So that also suggesting that definitely a police assault was underway, and that it might now have wrapped up. The last thing I can report from the scene, Mark, is that shortly after we heard those sounds, about 20 minutes later, we saw ambulances and fire trucks start moving around the perimeter, which they hadn't done. Nobody, no one, nothing, no vehicle had moved. And then they started moving in a slow, I would say, I hesitate to use the word leisurely pace, suggesting that there was no immediate danger to them, once again reinforcing the idea that the scene may be over, that the hostage situation may be over.
Okay, Cyril, stay where you are, please. Try and find out more if you possibly can. We'll come back to you in a few moments' time. Cyril Vanier, our reporter there in the 11th arrondissement, Boulevard Voltaire, the location where the Bataclan concert venue is. Let's bring in Emma James, who, of course, is watching things happening online for us here and has been throughout the evening. Emma, you've clearly picked up lots about what's been happening at the Bataclan, lots of reaction from that.
Yes, absolutely. It's been reported now by various sources, including the Reuters news agency, that the operation to secure the Bataclan is now over. A Reuters reporter on the scene has been told that that operation is over. We've been told also that 2 of the gunmen have been killed and that has now secured that location. The band who are playing, Eagles of Death Metal, has issued a statement on Facebook. They say, "We are still currently trying to determine the safety and whereabouts of all our band and crew. Our thoughts are with all of the people involved in this tragic situation." Witnesses have been talking about the fact that obviously the building was being evacuated during that operation. One witness saying that many people were slowly coming out of the building, either with their hands above their heads or on stretchers. She added that the bulk of them were very young, making it a particularly sad event to witness. Now, one other thing to note as well is that the French authorities have said 200 soldiers are being sent in to reinforce and to secure the 10th and 11th arrondissements of Paris. The Paris authorities are saying to people, please stay at home, and also to exercise greater vigilance in terms of entrances to buildings. They're asking for people to really try to help them in securing these areas. Little look at the Stade de France, which we haven't had all of that much information from, largely because when there's a big event at the Stade de France, you've got more than 80,000 people, and the mobile phone coverage basically just doesn't work. And so the information that we've had from the Stade de France has been quite limited. But we have had it confirmed by police that there were 2 suicide bombers there and another bomb too. So that's the 3 explosions that we heard. The president of the French Football Federation has also confirmed that 3 are dead, more are injured. I don't know if that includes, obviously, the 2 suicide bombers, because we can expect that they will have perished in their attack.
Emma, let me pause you there. Let's bring in someone who was at the game, of course. The President of France, François Hollande, was there to watch France play against Germany. Since then, of course, he was taken into Paris and declared this state of emergency across France for the first time since 1945 across the whole country. Let's listen to François Hollande.
Mes chers compatriotes,
my dear fellow citizens, as I speak, terrorist attacks of an unprecedented scale are taking place in the Paris area. Several dozens have been killed. Many have been wounded. It's a horror. Upon my orders, we have mobilized all possible forces so that we can neutralize the terrorists and secure all areas that could be affected. I also asked for reinforcements from the military, who have already been deployed in the Paris area, so that no further attack can take place. I also called an emergency cabinet meeting, which will take place shortly. 2 decisions will be taken. A state of emergency will be declared, which means that some places will be closed, traffic will be stopped, and police searches may be conducted throughout the Île-de-France region. This state of emergency will be effective throughout the French territory. The second decision I have taken is the closure of French borders. We must ensure that no one can enter our country to commit acts of terrorism in whatever form. And at the same time, this means that whoever could have committed these crimes can be found and arrested if they try to leave the country. This is a terrible event that has once again come upon us. We know where the threat is coming from. We know who the criminals are. We know who the terrorists are. In these extremely difficult moments, we need to spare a thought for the numerous victims, for their families, and for those who've been wounded. We need to show compassion and solidarity, but we also need to show unity and keep calm. In the face of terror, France must stay strong and stand tall, and the state authorities must be very firm, and they will be. We must also call on everyone to be responsible. What the terrorists want is for us to be scared. They want to put fear into us. There is indeed reason to be afraid. It's chilling, but in the face of this fear, our nation knows how to defend itself, and it will, once again, defeat the terrorists. French citizens, we have not finished the operations. Very difficult times lie ahead. Even as I speak, our security forces are carrying out a raid inside Paris. I ask all of you to keep your faith in what our security forces can do to save our nation from acts of terrorism. Long live the Republic, long live France.
Vive la République et vive la France.
François Hollande talking of the horror of the events as they have unfolded this